Okay, let's unpack this. Navigating the world of health and diet today.
Yeah.
Wow, it can feel like wading through just a constant stream of new research and, guidelines that seem to change all the time. Plus all the marketing that's trying to get your attention. You're looking for some clarity, right?
Yeah.
Something beyond just the latest trend.
Absolutely. And that's precisely why we're doing this deep dive today. It's specifically for you, our listener, who shared these really interesting sources. We're going to explore the views of the late Dr. Wayne Dyer,
Okay.
focusing on his very enthusiastic endorsements of 2 books, The Plant Plus Diet Solution by Dr. Joan Borisenko and The Perfect Gene Diet by Pam McDonald.
Got it. So our mission here isn't just to tell you what these books are about, but to really dig into the core ideas.
Yeah.
And the actionable stuff around personalized nutrition that Dr. Dyer found so compelling, and what that might actually mean for your own well-being.
Exactly. Let's start with Dr. Dyer's take on the Plant Plus Diet Solution. He clearly held Dr. Joan Borisenko in, really high regard.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, he spoke about her with immense respect, really urging people to absorb her insights.
Right, and it helps to understand why. I mean, Dr. Borisenko, she has this significant background in integrative medicine, which is, combining conventional and complementary approaches.
Yeah.
And she really delves into the mind-body connection.
And that's not all. She's got a doctorate in cell biology from Harvard.
Wow.
A licensed clinical psychologist, and a New York Times bestselling author. So yeah, quite a foundation there.
Definitely a lot of experience informing her work.
For sure. And Dr. Dyer, he kind of highlights the context for her book, the challenges with genetically modified foods, the rise in things like obesity, diabetes, even autism and Alzheimer's, plus all the confusing nutritional advice out there. It paints a picture of, real confusion for people just trying to be healthy.
And what really stands out is how Dr. Borisenko tackles this sort of head on.
Yeah.
She suggests moving away from that idea that there's one single diet for everyone.
Exactly. Instead, she emphasizes needing to experiment individually.
Right.
To discover what foods really work best for your unique body. For someone like you looking for that tailored info, that's a huge point, isn't it?
It absolutely is. But what about the challenges? I mean, trying to personalize your diet like that, how does someone actually do it?
That's a really good question, because while experimenting sounds great, it can also feel a bit, overwhelming.
Right. Where do you even start?
Yeah, where do you start? How do you know what your body's telling you? It probably involves, careful observation, maybe some trial and error to really figure out what clicks with your system.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And Dr. Borisenko also makes this really powerful link between our own health and the planet's health.
She talks about the big environmental challenges, global warming, pollution.
Yeah.
And how our farming practices fit into that.
Her point seems to be this deep interconnectedness. What we do to the earth, we do to ourselves.
Powerful stuff. It suggests our food choices ripple outwards, beyond just us.
She uses that striking image, too, the canary in the mine.
Yes.
Suggesting that the rise in things like Alzheimer's, autism, obesity, diabetes, even anxiety and depression, they're like warning signs.
Signals of a bigger problem with our sort of collective health and well-being. It definitely makes you think differently about these issues, not just as isolated cases.
It really does. It raises that question. Are these trends pointing to something systemic? Something about our modern diets and lifestyles?
And that's where the Plant Plus diet comes in. It's presented as scientific, metabolically personalized.
Okay, so tailored to how we process food.
Exactly, and a whole foods approach. The idea is it could benefit both us individually and, the planet, too.
And there's this really empowering angle, too, isn't there? That by being more mindful consumers, right, choosing not to buy certain, say, heavily processed foods, we can actually help shape a healthier future for us and for, future generations.
It gives you a sense of agency, yeah. Instead of feeling helpless, you feel like you can actually do something.
Right.
Dr. Dyer also brings up an endorsement from Dr. Larry Dossey. He apparently praised the book for mixing cutting-edge science, psychology, and just good common sense.
And being enjoyable to read, which is always a plus.
Definitely. And Dossey apparently said it reminded him that the kitchen can be a sacred site.
Oh, I like that. That quote really lands, doesn't it? It kind of elevates cooking and eating beyond just fuel.
Yeah, it makes it more meaningful, connecting it to our well-being on multiple levels. It highlights that holistic view that seems core to her work.
Okay, so that's the Plant Plus diet. Now, let's shift gears a bit to Dr. Dyer's experience with the Perfect Gene Diet. This one sounds more personal for him.
It does seem that way. There's this element of timing, almost like serendipity.
Right. He describes meeting Pam McDonald and her colleague in Maui, and it felt, like he said, almost like fate. And what makes it really hit home is that this was shortly after Dr. Dyer got his diagnosis.
Chronic lymphocytic leukemia, CLL.
Yeah, exactly. So it suggests this meeting was a real turning point for him personally.
That personal angle definitely adds weight to his endorsement, doesn't it? He presents Pam McDonald as an integrative medicine practitioner who is really key in his own healing path.
And the main idea of her book, The Perfect Gene Diet, as Dr. Dyer saw it, it's about tailoring your diet to cut down on cellular inflammation.
Right, that inflammation deep down at the cell level, which is often linked to chronic diseases.
Okay. And also aligning your diet with your specific genetic makeup. That really takes personalization up a notch.
It really does. It speaks right to that desire to know what's truly optimal for your biology specifically.
And Dr. Dyer emphasizes that the book is just, quote, loaded to the gills with specific information.
Suggesting it's very practical, very actionable for someone on a healing journey.
He also shares this really hopeful message, suggesting that people dealing with chronic stuff, heart disease, Alzheimer's, leukemia, diabetes, they don't necessarily have to just accept this idea of steady decline. He proposes that symptoms can actually improve with the right dietary approach.
Now, that is a powerful message. It's about hope and empowerment, isn't it?
Totally. It offers this sense of possibility that diet isn't just damage control, but could lead to real positive changes.
Yeah, genuine improvement. And Dr. Dyer also mentions there's an interview clip available with Pam McDonald, so if you want to go deeper into her approach, that's an option.
Good to know. And he kind of circles back to this idea of tapping into your own, inner knowing.
Right, suggesting that eating in sync with your cells can unlock this natural health and vitality that's already inside you.
So looking at both these endorsements together, there's a really clear theme emerging, isn't there?
Absolutely. It's the crucial role of personalized nutrition. That seems to be the big takeaway Dr. Dyer got from both Dr. Borisenko and Pam McDonald.
That one-size-fits-all just doesn't cut it.
Not at all. And there's also that consistent thread about being mindfully aware, making conscious choices about food.
Yeah, not just blindly following rules, but being present, being intentional.
And we see that link again between our own health and the bigger picture of the environment. Society, especially in how Dyer presented Borisenko's work.
Our choices have ripples.
Ultimately, both endorsements, through Dr. Dyer's perspective anyway, convey this sense of potential for positive change, for empowerment.
You're not just passive, right? You can actively make choices that influence your health and maybe even, in a small way, the world around you.
Precisely. So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, the core insights seem pretty clear. Understanding your individual needs, paramount.
Yeah. No magic bullet diet for everyone.
Nope. And our food choices, well, they matter more widely than we might think.
Which leaves us with a really important question for you, the listener. Thinking about this emphasis on individual needs, what might your unique metabolic responses be? How could you maybe start to mindfully explore, experiment a little to find what truly nourishes you?
And perhaps also reflect on that connection, your personal well-being and the health of the planet. How do those feel connected for you?
Those are definitely valuable questions to sit with.
They are. And if you want to explore further, the books themselves, Dr. Borisenko's The Plant Plus Diet Solution and Pam McDonald's The Perfect Gene Diet, are those specific resources Dr. Dyer found so important.
Absolutely. So the final thought is really this. You have the power. You can actively shape your well-being through informed, conscious food choices.
It's about tuning in, experimenting thoughtfully, and just recognizing the profound impact of what you put on your plate.